Okay, hi guys. This next video is about proving my answer. In class, we're in a section working on solving equations, solving for x, that kind of a thing. But we also talk about how can we advance our work. To be proficient in something means you can do it and do it well and solve and get the answer. So if I give you a problem, let's make up a problem here. And it could be anything. Like let's say we had 6 subtract 2x equals 8. Okay, well, to be proficient and be at what we call level 3 in class, you would put the line down the middle and you would go through your steps and you would solve for x and get an answer. So I'm going to do that right now. Put my line down the middle. I see that there's a 6 out here that I'm going to just flip over. So that 6 is going to become a negative 6 over here. And 8 subtract 6 is 2. And that moves the 6. Now if the 6 is gone, you'll notice I still have a minus 2x. I still have a minus 2x equals 2. And then I'm going to divide this up into two groups. So divide by 2 and divide by 2. And because it's a negative 2, I'm going to divide by negative 2. So I can get rid of all of that. So x is going to equal 2 divided by 2 is 1. And a positive divided by a negative is a negative. So x equals negative 1. There's my answer. And that is well done. All my steps are shown. It's pretty organized. I'm at a level 3 right now if I was to do this on a test or something. But if I really wanted to prove my answer and show that I know what I'm doing, I need to check it. Check answer. If I can check my answer and prove that I got it right, that's what's going to get me up to that level 4 that we're trying to do, that advanced work. Nowhere in the directions will it probably say check your answer. This is something I have to just think in my head like I should go check it and make sure I'm right. So that's what makes this a level 4 is you have to kind of think of that on your own. So how do you check your answer? Well, first you copy the problem. 6 minus 2x equals 8. And because we're doing this for our notes and we're trying to make sure we understand this process, I'm going to write over here, copy the original. Copy the original. That's the first thing we're going to do is copy the original. Then what we're going to do is we think we know the answer for x. We think it's a negative 1. So I'm going to circle the x and I'm going to change it into a negative 1. It's not going to be an x anymore. It's going to be negative 1. So my 6 subtract 2 is now 6 subtract 2 times negative 1. I'll use parentheses to show that, look, I replaced the x. Now I have a negative 1 right there. Equals 8. Okay, now I got to do my math. Minus 2 times a negative 1. A negative 2 times a negative 1 is a positive 2. So I have 6 plus 2 equals 8. And sure enough, 6 plus 2, yep, that's 8. 8 is equal to 8. Awesome, I must have did this correctly. 8 does equal 8. Check. Now if I had done all of this work and I'd gone all the way down here and I had gotten something like 5 equals 8 or 5 equals 3, and you would have been like, 5 doesn't equal 3. That doesn't make any sense to me. If you get something that doesn't make sense, your answer's wrong. But if you get something like this, 8 equals 8, this is true. This is true. 8 is equal to 8. So yes, x equals negative 1 is the right answer. You have proved your work. So this is your proof, but this is your solution. I have a lot of students who make the mistake of saying x equals 8 is the answer because they kind of get like caught up in forgetting what they were doing. 8 is not the answer. Negative 1 is the answer. This was your check to make sure it worked. So let's try another one of these because I would like most of you in class to be able to check your answer regularly and get your level 4s. So let's make up another problem. And this time let's do one with a fraction since we've been working on that. So let's say we had x over 3 plus 4 equals negative, we'll say negative 6. Okay, well we're going to put a line down the middle as our starting process. First, we're just solving for x. So ignoring the fraction for a moment, I see that plus 4 all by itself. I'm going to flip it over and make it a -4 so that this thing's gone. Now -6 and -4 together make -10 units. Okay? And I still have the fraction x over 3. Okay, well let's move that 3 over now by multiplying it. Remember, fractions mean divide, so if I want the 3 to go over here, I'm going to have to multiply it over, times 3. To get rid of the 3, got to times it over. So I have x equals -10 times 3, so -30. And I'm done. There is my answer. All right, so perfect. If I scored this on a test, all my steps are shown. I think it's the right answer. It's a level 3. If I want to be advanced in my work and prove that I really understand this, I will check my answer. So we go back and we copy the original problem. The original problem was x over 3 plus 4 equals -6. That was the original problem. So this time, I think x is equal to -30. So right here's my x. I'm going to basically change it into a -30. So instead of x over 3, I'm going to have, over 3, I'm going to have -30. Notice I'm just replacing it. Plus 4 equals -6. Okay, let's evaluate this. -30 over 3 means divide. Fractions mean divide. So 30 divided by 3 is 10. So this thing becomes 10, but it's a -30 over 3, so it's a -10 plus 4 equals -6. And sure enough, -10 plus 4 together makes -6. So -6 equals -6. Check. Awesome, I checked my answer. Everything looks true and good. X equals -30 is the right answer. Now my work is at a level 4. Again, on a test or something, you might not see anything about checking your answer in the directions. You just have to kind of think of that and say, hey, that would be a really good idea right now. Let's go check my answer. So that's kind of the hard part, is having to remember that. So I have one more question for you, and I'd like you to pause the video and try this one. And it's more of a story problem. So here's the story. Jax got the answer. Jax got the answer, x equals 2. Jax got the answer, x equals 2, for 3x minus 5 equals, we'll say, 13. Is he correct? So you're in class and you have this math problem up on the board. 3x minus 5 equals 13. Jax starts saying the answer is x equals 2, x equals 2. So is he right? Well, let's check him. If he thinks the answer is x equals 2, I'm just going to write up here, we're going to check the answer. I don't see Jax's work, so I'm not totally sure. But he thinks the answer is 2. So this x right here, I'm going to replace with his answer of a 2. And if it works, then he's right. So instead of 3x, it's 3 times 2. I'm going to use parentheses to show that I replaced that x. Minus 5 equals 13. So let's do some math real fast. 3 times 2 is 6. 6 minus 5 equals 13. And 6 subtract 5 is 1. So 1 equals 13. Uh-oh. 1 does not equal 13. So we have a problem. Jax says the answer is x equals 2. We got 1 equals 13. We put a big slash through the equal sign, say not true. X, something's wrong. Is he correct? No. X equals 2 is not correct. He made a mistake. We're going to have to go back and solve it for him again. So this is how you know somebody's answer is wrong. You check it and you get something weird. 1 does not equal 13, or at least not in our world. 1 can equal 13. It doesn't make any sense. So we put a little slash and we realize the answer is wrong, and we tell Jax, hey Jax, you need to go back and try again. You got the wrong answer. So that's kind of the idea. All right, I hope that helps. The more you start checking your answer, the more level 4s you're going to end up getting on some of our assessments.